Whoa, feedback.
All right, let's try this. This is the voiceover for a comedian movie trailer. Take one.
In a world where laughter was king.
No in a world, Jack.
What do you mean, no in a world?
It's not that kind of movie.
Oh? Okay. In a land that...
No in a land either.
In a time...
I don't think so.
In a land before time.
It's about a comedian, Jack.
One man.
No.
When your life is no longer your own.
What does that mean?
When everything you know is wrong.
That's wrong.
In an outpost.
No.
On the edge of space.
There's no space.
A girl.
No.
Two girls.
No.
Now.
No.
More than ever.
Stop it.
A renegade cop.
I hate you.
A robot renegade cop.
You're fired.
You're fired.
No, you're actually fired.
I'm fired.
So, whatever happened to the classic movie trailer voice? Movie trailer narration became a commonplace practice as early as movie trailers and sound within cinema existed. The first movie trailer appeared in 1913, a time before sound, and therefore originally used title cards to explain the movie's premise and to get audiences to want to come back to the theater. By the 1950s, as sound became prevalent within film, these title cards shifted to narration. Often these narrations were done with a transatlantic accent, which was popular amongst film and radio personalities during the time.
Katharine Hepburn and Robert Helpman, world-famous stage and screen personalities, arrive in Sydney for an Australian tour of 3 Shakespearean plays for the Old Vic Company. With them is producer Michael Benthall.
This style of narration was forefronted by Art Gilmore, an actor whose voice was iconic for the time period. This style of narration remained popular until the 1960s, when the forefront of trailer narration changed unexpectedly. In 1964, the film Gunfighters of Casa Grande, directed by Roy Rowland, changed the game entirely. While producing the film's trailer, the announcer that they hired didn't show up to the recording studio. They had to get the trailer done that day in order to deliver it to MGM, and fate revealed itself in the form of a sound engineer known as Don LaFontaine.
Across the Rio Grande to Mexico they came, 5 desperate men with guns swinging.
LaFontaine offered up his voice for the voiceover, and MGM loved it, forever propelling his career into voiceover stardom. At the date of his death, LaFontaine had done over 750,000 television spots and over 5,000 movie trailers, all from one voice. But first, let's look at how he got to this point. Don LaFontaine was born in 1940 in the small town of Duluth, Minnesota, to a normal suburban family. According to him, his voice changed suddenly mid-sentence when he was young, giving him his iconic tone.
Well, I was born in a simple log cabin no, that's not true. When I was 13 years old, my voice changed in the middle of a sentence. Mom, I'll help you with the dishes. Literally. And it never went back. And I was just cut up in class. And when I went to school the next day, I didn't want to talk. And the teacher got bugged about it. She said, "Why aren't you saying something?" And I said, "What do you want me to say?" And I was sent to the office because she thought I was screwing with her. And for a while there was, it really upset me, but then I discovered that I could be everybody's dad. Jimmy can't come to school today because he's not feeling very well.
When he became older, he worked as a recording engineer for the Army Band and Chorus. After being discharged, he began working at a recording studio in New York City, which is where he managed to be on the set of Gunfighters of Casablanca, giving him his chance at voice acting. LaFontaine became the head of Kaleidoscope Films, a movie trailer production company, before starting his own company, Don LaFontaine Associates, in 1976. Shortly after, he was hired by Paramount to voice all of their trailers, and was later promoted to vice president of the company. But in 1981, he no longer wanted the position, and decided to leave Paramount in order to continue his legacy as the greatest voiceover artist in history.
Throughout history, man has marveled at the vast complexity of the universe. Without a single unified voice, humanity has been left searching for answers to the unknown. Now, one man has the power to change that and to spread his voice across the earth for all of mankind to hear. One man. Me.
He then moved to Los Angeles, where he found a plethora of jobs recording for both television and cinema. At this time, he was recording as much as 35 gigs a day, being chauffeured in a white stretch Lincoln town car with the license plate DLF-2. This car was equipped with expensive technology for the time, including a built-in phone and a fax machine, so that he could take calls and have scripts printed out on the go, as he was so busy with his voiceover work. He coined himself as the VOG, or Voice of God. However, the industry often called him the King, or Thunderthroat, which certainly was an interesting name.
Don, now, could you help this gentleman out and read the side effects to him, please?
Certainly. In a world of erectile dysfunction, pills, the most common side effects a man like Mike can expect are headache, back pain, muscle pain, indigestion, flushing, and flushing, runny nose, and oh, it's terrible. These drugs can cause your blood pressure to drop suddenly, and you may become dizzy, faint, have a heart attack or a stroke. If you have an erection that lasts for more than 4 hours, see a doctor. Or call Bambi at 555-0169.
Thank you, Don. Thank you, Don. Don LaFontaine.
The peak of his work in the industry was arguably within the 90s, as nearly all of the films in the box office contained his voice. Each year later, the number of films that contained voiceovers gradually declined, as sentiments in the film industry shifted. In 2008, however, tragedy struck, as on Friday, August 22nd of that year, LaFontaine was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles with a pulmonary embolism. 10 days later, LaFontaine died on September 1st, 2008, at 67 years old. After LaFontaine's passing, the voiceover industry in film trailers began to decline rapidly, as his near monopoly of the genre was gone, prior to this being categorized as the single busiest actor within the Screen Actors Guild. As well as this, however, through the years, other individuals had risen to prevalence within the voiceover world. This includes individuals such as Red Pepper, who largely took the reins of the voiceover industry after LaFontaine's passing.
Men in Black, saving the Earth from the scum of the universe. Blair Witch Project, Armageddon, Space Jam, Mr. Bean's Holiday. So many, I forget half of them, to be honest with you. I started doing television adverts, animations, audiobooks. I do a lot of video games as well, and a lot of them are sound effects of ghouls in the background. For Mr. Bean. When I first started doing movie trailers, that was fun. One man. Coming soon to a cinema near you.
As well as other notable voices such as Hal Douglas, who was the voice in the intro to this video, as well as who was deemed the Dean of the East Coast narrators, whilst LaFontaine controlled the West Coast. Despite this, however, while there were slight differences among these narrators, many of them aimed to emulate and replicate that of LaFontaine's voice, as that tone and delivery was what was desired and praised amongst the golden age of the trailer voiceover era. After the death of LaFontaine, the classic movie trailer voice had slowly and gradually fallen out of favor in contemporary film marketing. Several factors have contributed to its decline. One of the biggest aspects was the fact that by the 2010s, the biggest blockbuster movies were ones that had already had fan bases associated with them. This includes things such as Harry Potter and the Marvel series, where literature was already associated with this brand, and therefore no explanation was needed about the characters or why you should care about this story. People already knew and already wanted to watch. As well as this, as filmmaking marketing techniques have evolved, so too have audience preferences. Modern audiences often gravitate towards more subtle and nuanced approaches to storytelling, which may not align with the bombastic style of classic movie trailer voices. With the rise of social media and digital platforms, film studios have diversified their advertising strategies to reach audiences through targeted online campaigns, viral marketing, and interactive experiences. This has led to a broader range of voices and styles being used in promotional material, moving away from the traditional movie trailer voice. Also, the usage of in-film character dialogue became more prevalent to conveying the story of a film in its trailer, indicating quality writing and successful narrative storytelling. Audiences today are more discerning and sophisticated in their consumption of media. They respond to trailers that engage them intellectually and emotionally, rather than relying solely on bombastic voiceovers to capture their attention. While the classic movie trailer voice may not be as prevalent as it once was, its legacy endures as a nostalgic symbol of a bygone era in film marketing. Despite its decline, its impact on popular culture and the collective memory of moviegoers remains indelible. If you guys enjoyed this video, I encourage you to leave a like and a comment and subscribe to the channel. Any support is appreciated and helps me to be able to keep making videos like this in the future. I also may make a Patreon if this video does well, but at the moment, just interaction with this video is all the support I need. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram at Cons Film Stuff, where I post film pictures I've taken, music, and movies I've enjoyed recently. And yeah, have a good one.